Hey guys, welcome back to Lez Be Honest podcast. This is your host, Kinley. Today I have a very special guest. She's a creative entrepreneur with over 80,000 followers on Instagram, over 500,000 on TikTok. She's a dancer, choreographer, director, model, actress, producer, CEO, LGBTQIA advocate, and so much more. She does it all. Everyone welcome Lexie Peters.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
It sounds so official when you announce everything I do.
I know. I was like, damn, like this is just gonna keep going. I probably could have listed so much more too.
Yeah, and there's even more for sure. I've been someone who, like, growing up, I always told my mom, like, I'm gonna do everything before I die.
That's so funny.
I take it to the career path, and I just do anything I set my mind on. So
well, that's awesome.
I appreciate that, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. I'm happy that you said yes to me. So thank you. I know you're busy, especially during June. Like, it's crazy. All of your posts, you're like doing all of it.
It's Pride Month, baby. You already know the vibe.
It is Pride Month. I've never been to Pride in LA, and I've always wanted to go. Mm-hmm. I feel like the energy.
LA Pride is super fun. I'm from New York, so
okay.
I'm a little bit biased. New York is the best pride in all of the land.
Okay.
But LA is pretty cool. It was cool. I really like WeHo because it's like a whole strip of gay bars. So West Hollywood, like, their pride is even like more fun than LA Pride. And then, yeah, it's been good.
Oh, so there's a difference between West Hollywood Pride and then LA Pride?
Yeah, like in New York, we have Queens Pride, Brooklyn's Pride, New York City Pride, we have Long Island Pride. Like, there's so many different little prides in different towns.
Yeah.
So it's similar here in LA. They have a Long Beach Pride, which is south of LA. They have San Diego Pride. They have LA Pride. They have West Hollywood Pride.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Anywhere we can celebrate Pride, we're going to do it.
Period. I'm from Texas, so Austin, so I'm from the Austin area, and Austin, they have Pride, and it's pretty big, but I feel like, you know, New York, LA, like California, just those more of the liberal states, I feel like they go more out, and I've always just kind of wanted to go to the Prides because they seem like they literally go all out.
Oh yeah, we go all out like straight people don't exist.
You're like, who are straight people?
It's really crazy. And my favorite part, like, that I've seen in both New York and LA. I've been to a bunch of other prides, so maybe in Denver too has been fun. But something I see in both those big cities, which I really love, are kids. Aww. Kids are outside. Kids are on their dad's shoulders, or like with their two moms, or like whatever it is. And like, there's even couples, like there's like straight families and stuff who also go to Pride as allies, and like that is like my favorite thing to see. And just like, you know, bring in the culture, the community, like, so good.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so I'm a teacher, and I won't talk too much about this, but I have parents that have been, like, very positive when because they do their research on the teachers, and they find out that I am obviously a part of the community, and there's some parents that are extremely like, oh, I love this, like, I want you to not like teach it to the kids, but just like teach, like,
make them aware.
Yeah, and teach inclusivity, like just talk about how there's different types of people out in the world. And then I've had some parents that are like, don't, like, they've tried to get me fired because of so anyways, I was trying to add on to that. I do love that too, whenever there's parents that go to prides and stuff, and they bring their I'm like, we're not like aliens, like, we exist.
Yeah, and even just going back to like teaching too, like the part that confuses me with that situation, I used to be a preschool teacher, so totally understand, love kids, love teaching. But when it comes to, like, having different parents with obviously different backgrounds, different beliefs, different things they want their kids to know growing up, I think the most important thing is, why are we talking about our teacher's personal life anyway?
Exactly.
Because it's just like, you know, I didn't go to school and my English teacher was like, I have a husband and I have 3 kids, and I, like,
exactly.
It's none of your business. I come here to teach you. I'm qualified to teach you what I need to teach you, and that's all you need to know.
Period. And we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. All right, so I have a lot to ask you, so let's just like jump into it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So first, I want to talk about like where you grew up. So you said New York. So you grew up in New York, and just tell me kind of about that.
For sure, yeah. I grew up in Long Island, New York. So I actually grew up in an area that was not as diverse, not as inclusive. So for me, being somebody who dresses differently, you know, I shop in the men's section. That was like a really big thing. Like me coming out, I came out when I was 14. So I came out high school. I guess, you know, for a teenager, some would think I was still really young, but like, now that I think about it, I was like, I had my whole life figured out thinking of things like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, yeah, I mean, I grew up in Long Island, New York. Love where I grew up. I love New York.
So did you have a lot of, sorry to cut you off. Did you have a lot of like any queer representation like around you? You kind of said you didn't, but can you think of any?
Around me, no. Okay. Because I didn't even know what a lesbian was until I was 12. Literally, probably my biggest like representation was my friend Gabby, who was a senior when we were like 2 years apart. So I was a sophomore when she was a senior, and she was a lesbian. And she never like put it on me or like, you know, made me feel differently. She never like put it on me like that. However, she did purposely, you know, her gaydar. She says, she's like, I've been known your day. So she always like made it a thing to talk about girls, like for her. Like she'd be like, I'm talking to this girl right now, or like she would try to normalize it for me because
totally.
She knew deep down her gaydar was like, Lexie is gay as fuck. So she knew it was funny because she kind of just like guided me and like helped me get through that whole like timing. That whole time in my life, you know, she helped me realize like what it even was, like if I related to it. And then of course, once I found out what it was, I was like, everything makes sense now. And the rest is history. But shout out to Gabby. She was like my in-person role model. And then of course, like with social media, I had other people I looked up to, but she was more of the in-person in town.
Oh, well, that's good that you had someone during that time, because I know that there's a lot of people that don't, and it's just 10 times harder for them to try to navigate through life. So
yeah, for sure.
That can be a lot. Okay, so when did you come out? And you said when you were 14. Yeah. So you were 14.
Yeah, when I was 14.
And how was your experience with that? Was like, obviously Gabby, she was a real one. She probably was accepting, but like, how did your family react or other people around you?
Yeah, for sure. I came out when I was 14, 15. It was like the summer going into sophomore year, I think, or junior, wherever that is in the age gap. But yeah, it was like during the summer, around age 14, 15, I was hanging out with Gabby a lot, and she was making me realize like some of my friends that were girls, like I had crushes on them and I just didn't know that. And so, you know, I had my own experience, of course, being absolutely terrified. Yeah. My biggest fear in life is like disappointing my mom and dad, like disappointing my family, like being a disappointment. Like, so I think like that weighed on me a lot. And I think even now, like that still weighs on me. Like that's a big fear with like dating people who are still in the closet, or, you know, because it's almost like you have to relive that and go through those same emotions. It's like PTSD. Yeah. So it's important to, you know, date people who are comfortable and proud and all the things. But, yeah, my coming out story, it was very abrupt because I'm an Aries, and if I feel a certain way, or like if I felt comfortable, so it didn't matter how everyone else felt. Yeah. It was like, I want to dress like a boy, so I went literally in one day, I just changed my whole wardrobe. I went to go shave my head. That's a whole nother thing. I went to shave my head. I got a call from like my aunt and my mom, and like, get your ass home right now. Like, what do you think you're doing? Oh my God. And there was like a lot of craziness when I came out. And like, at first I have a lot of siblings. So that was another thing, is like, I have to come out to everybody like separately, make it like intimate, like, and I hate it. Like I always say, I wish I had the mindset I do now then, because then I wouldn't even feel like I had to come out. Yeah. Then I would just act normal. I would just be like, hey, this is my girlfriend. And people are like, what? I'd be like, oh, like, who made rules that I couldn't date a girl? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I would approach it so differently. But because I had that immature state of mind and I was still learning, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So I wrote my mom a 5-page letter.
Aww.
Hid that under her pillow. And my mom was like the biggest, one I was most nervous for. So I actually came out to my siblings before I did my mom. Because I was like, I need backup, God forbid.
Yep.
So I came out to all my siblings. I remember sending like my oldest sister, since we didn't see each other a lot. I remember shooting her a long text, and she answered back with like a beautiful, like, I love you, I accept you, like, you're still you, great. That was easy. My other sister, she lived in a different state, so I called her, and she goes, okay, like, I don't really care. Do you? She was cool with it. Then my other sister, I sat down with her, and I was like, so I kind of like this person. And normally it would be like, I like a boy.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I like this person. And my sister's like, okay, like, why are you acting weird? And I'm just like, well, they're really nice and they're really funny and we talk all the time and they want to visit me and they want to,
yeah,
all the they.
Uh-huh.
And so my sister's like, hold on. And she stops me. She's like, is this a boy or because now at this point I'm just using they them pronouns.
Yeah.
Like way before like they them pronouns were even like I feel like public and out to everybody to like freely use. I was genuinely just using it because I didn't want her to know it was a girl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So she asked me, she's like, is it a boy or girl? And I'm like, it's a girl. I start crying. So I started crying. She's like, oh my God. She was like in shock. She's like, I had no idea. She's like, I didn't see this coming. So like she tried to like give me more of like the mom talk before talking to my mom. So she's like, is this a phase? Like not assuming it was, but like, you know, are you just curious? Like, are you really sure you like a girl?
Yeah.
And she's like, I love you. I support you. Like, let's just, you know, take our time, figure it out. Cool. Love that. Went and told my brother. I was like, hey bro. He's like, what's up? I'm like, I like girls. I think I'm a lesbian. He's just like, my brother was the coolest one. He's like, okay. And I'm like, you don't care? He's like, no, that doesn't change who you are, and plus more girls in the house. I was like, my brother is a savage. But it was funny. And then I had to end up telling my younger sister as well. So
wow, you do have a lot of siblings.
Told all the siblings. Then I wrote my mom a letter. Aww. And she, when I got back from school the next day, I like left it under her pillow before I left. And when I got back from school the next day, there was a note on my desk, and it was actually this tattoo I have. It says, I love you no matter what, from mom. It's in her handwriting. So she put that up there, and I got up there, I read it, and she came upstairs. I'm like crying. She came upstairs, and I was like, hi, what's up? And at first she was like, hey, like, my mom was so cool about it. It was a little tricky. We had our bumps, like trying to understand, and obviously it was something new. But the one thing she said that stuck with me that I think a lot of parents can like benefit from is give me some time. Mm-hmm. I've never had a gay kid before. Mm-hmm. And what was cool about that is it reminds me that like your parents, this is their first time too. This is their first time parenting. This is their first time doing anything.
Experiencing life.
They don't want to be a dick. They don't want to mess up. Mm-hmm. They don't want to, you know, like, can I curse?
Yes.
Like, oh.
Yeah, you're good.
But it's like, you know, I don't think it's ever a parent's intention to hurt their child or not accept them. I think it's just that they don't understand and they don't know what to do. So they're like, Yeah. So I really respected my mom for that. She's like, give me some time because I've never had a kid come out to me before. Like, I don't know what to say or what to do. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So she's like, give me some time. She walks down the stairs. She's like, I need a glass of wine. She's walking down the stairs. She's like, or the whole bottle. I'm like,
you're like, do whatever you want, queen.
Right. And she's like, you have to tell your dad. And I was like, no, never told my dad.
You never came out to your dad? You just kind of figured out?
Figured out.
Yeah.
And after like time has passed, he like knew what it was. We eventually had to talk, but there was a point in my life where I ran to Gabby's house. Like, me and my family got in a fight, so I went to Gabby's house and I stayed there for 2 weeks. Like, didn't tell my mom where I was. Like, it was a big fight. We didn't talk for a little while. Like, there was a lot of confusion. Like, even though there was a lot of good, there was still a lot of hardships and challenges I had to go through. So that's just in my household, you know? And then there was school. I was the first one to start dressing like, the first girl to dress like a boy in my entire school. So that was like a huge thing. You know, you asked if I had role models, and I think in the most humbling way. I think I was a role model for a lot of people at school, because as soon as I started dressing different, I had all these people in the grades younger than me, or even my grade, be like, hey, like, can we talk about the community? Like, and then I ended up becoming the president of GSA at my school. And that's Gay Straight Alliance.
Yeah.
So it was like a club, and it started off when I was a freshman. There were 7 people in the club. By the time I graduated and was president, there were 70 people.
That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, so I remember, like, I used to just have after school. I basically had like my own after school program, and it was a club, and once a week we would all hang out. We'd write poetry. We'd talk about coming out. Some people would come out in that classroom. Like, it was just a safe space that we created for other people to feel safe. I guess similar to what I do on social media. Like, I just want people to feel safe, So I created that in school, and yeah, it was a bit rocky. I definitely got bullied, all the things I'm sure we'll talk about, but that was initially how it started. It was good. It was challenging. It was scary. It was inspiring. So
yeah, and so
I could go on and on. So I'm like, let me wrap it there.
No, you're good. You're good. So, but to kind of go into that, so like, how did you respond when people didn't react well? Whether that was like your family. I mean, you said, you respected how your mom was kind of like, just give me time, but like, were there any instances where just anyone around you just kind of like either cut you off, or like they were just assholes? Like, how do how do you respond to that?
For sure. And I think it's important too, because it's something that I came out almost 11 years ago, maybe 11 at this point. And the fact that there are still people,
it's crazy.
And it's not even just my personal life. Sometimes, because I'm always at gay parties, like queer parties, I travel with queer people. I surround myself with people who are queer. Not that I forget that straight people exist, but sometimes I forget that, like, LGBTQIA plus people have an issue with it. Like, I forget that, like, there are people who are unaccepting. There are people who care. Like, and I'm just like, what? Like, we're just living our best life. Love is love.
Love is love, period.
Butterflies and rainbows. But, sometimes because of what I surround myself with, I really stay away from the negativity and stuff. So sometimes I do, like, forget. I forget that it's an issue still. And that also, like, when I forget and remember, it's, like, even more inspiring, because I'm like, let's get to the bottom of this. World peace. Like, so when it comes to people reacting well or bullying or whatever it is, I dealt with bullying in all forms. I dealt with cyberbullying. I've been physically bullied in school, in the bathrooms, in the stairwells. Like, that was a literal thing that I forgot existed. Verbally bullied, people saying things. I used to have people, like, because I dressed, like, very tomboy, very, like, I want to be a boy. I had a snapback on, like, whatever it was. And I had people, like, I had boys, like, turning their hats sideways, like, like, I'm trying to be Lexie Peters. Like, I have been a dancer, I love dance, and I always danced even at school. And it was more so at parties, like how now at the clubs, I'll make a circle and I'll start dancing, doing my thing, just because, like, it's the culture of dance. Like, that's what I know.
Yeah.
And people used to, like, go to parties, and they would make, like, a circle, and a random boy would jump in the middle and, like, pretend, and he'd be like, do I look like Lexie Peters? Do I look like Lexie Peters? And they would take videos and post that, send it to me.
It's like, look at me now.
We don't even gotta talk about it. Everybody who bullied me is, like, in jail or rehab. So, anyways, we're not gonna get into that, but that's tea. Okay. But the biggest thing that helped me deal with these people and still continuously deal with these people, everything is tattooed, okay? Mind over matter. This is something actually that Gabby taught me, because I would go to her house crying, like, nobody loves me, it's because I'm gay, like, everybody hates me. Even, like, my family, too. Like, my mom would be like, clean up after yourself. Like, very normal, she'd say to anybody. And I'm over here like, it's because I'm gay. Like, I was so, like, just immature, and, like, I definitely made it about myself, and I used my queerness as an excuse, or as, like, oh, like, anytime you're telling me what to do or being mean to me, like, you're being homophobic. Like, You know, like the little joke we make now, but it was never like that. And now I like finally understand and know. So back to mind over matter. Basically, what got me through everything is something Gabby taught me and my friend Christian in high school. Gabby taught me mind over matter, and that basically means the people who mind, like the people who have opinions, they have shit to say, like they really care about what you're doing behind closed doors, they don't matter. That's what that means. And the people who matter, your family, your friends, the ones who are really riding with you to the end, your inner circle, they don't mind. They don't have opinions about your shit. They want you happy, and that's why they matter. So a lot of people are like, mind over matter, but they don't break it down.
Yeah.
That's really what it means. Like, the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. And this goes for anything in life, whether it's you being queer, whether it's you coming out, whether it's a career choice, a person you're with, like, mind over matter.
It can go with any situation.
So that got me through a whole lot.
Aww.
And mind over matter. And then the other thing my friend Christian told me was just that, like, this had a lot to do with dance, because I was afraid to dance, but it works just with also, coming out of the closet and being myself, dressing a certain way. He basically looked at me, he's like, Lex, put his hand on my shoulder. He's like, they're going to judge you no matter what, so you might as well be yourself. And that's a really big thing, because it's like, whether or not I buy a bag from Walmart or a bag from Dior, someone's going to have something to say. Someone's going to be like, oh, that's from Walmart. Someone else is going to be like, oh, she spends her money on Dior.
Yeah.
They're going to judge you no matter what. No matter what you wear, no matter how you talk, no matter where you're from, what you do, like, someone's going to have something to say because they either don't know you or they just are bored and have nothing better to do. Someone's going to have something to say, so you might as well just do what you want to do anyway.
Yeah. It's like what you do or who you are isn't always going to be someone's cup of tea. It's like whenever I started podcasting, I'm from kind of like a small town in Texas. And I grew up in San Diego, and then I moved here, and that was like a cultural shock though. Like it was bad because the town that I'm in is nowhere near Austin. I live in Austin because I went to college there. But anyways, growing up here, everyone kind of knows everyone. And so I'm in Austin, but people here start hearing that like I have this podcast, and they kind of start talking, and like they're just real. I don't know. It's just you really.
Haters are motivators.
Period. I have to remind myself that, because sometimes I'm like, am I just not fit to be a podcaster? Like, I don't know. But then I'm like, Kinley, shut up.
And that's what gets in our head too. Like, our second guessing or, our thoughts. But like any thoughts that are negative, that's us thinking. And anything that's positive, that's intuitive. That's real. So like you wanting to be a podcaster, you wanting to interview different people, like that's intuitive. You're meant to do that. Whether it's because you're bringing people together, you're putting people on, you're sharing all this with the world. Like that's
exactly.
You, and that's what you know, and that's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
All those other little doubts and fears, let them go. They're just thoughts.
They are.
It's our little inner child, like, but, and we're like, no, it's okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's like, sit down, I got you, I'll take care of you.
Girl.
Yeah, exactly, period. All right, so I say we jump into like your dance career. Let's jump into that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, so when did you start dancing? So you said you kind of started, you started dancing when you were younger, but when did you actually get into like professional dancing and like choreography and that kind of stuff?
Right. So I love that you asked me this because I don't consider myself a professional dancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm happy you brought it up.
Okay. Oh my God.
No, I'm happy you brought it up because like a lot of people might think that from my social media. I just love to dance.
Well, you look like a professional dancer. Like you are literally. Stop it! You're literally so good. So
I was just gonna give you a little background. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Why I don't consider myself a professional dancer is only because I was never professionally trained.
Okay.
As a dancer, I'm completely self-taught.
Period.
I played sports a lot growing up, and I did different activities like gymnastics and stuff that definitely helped with like learning choreography, baton twirling. All these things that definitely helped with like my growth in like picking up music, rhythm, choreography. but I didn't actually dance until correction. I don't consider myself a professional dancer because I've never professionally been trained in like all styles of dance. However, I do believe I've been dancing since I've been out the womb. Music turns on and I start moving. Like, it's in my blood.
Okay.
So that's how I know I'm a dancer. That's how I know, I just love to dance. And
yeah.
But when I really started, it was probably like 2006, maybe.
Okay.
Gotta think about numbers, but I was younger, and it was when Step Up had come out. The movie Step Up with
Channing. Oh my God, iconic. Yes.
So I watched that movie, and I was looking at Channing Tatum and Moose, and I was like, I need to be them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is my goal in life. So then, I started dancing. And I started dancing. Me and my brother would, like, watch Step Up, all 4 or 5 of them, on repeat as we grew up, as they came out. Like, every time it dropped, we would watch it and, like, try to copy the rhythm.
I was just about to say, are you trying to, like, copy everything?
Literally, like, I learned how to dance by watching other people dance. So, like,
yeah.
A lot of it was Channing Tatum, Step Up, because the main character changes in all the movies, but Step Up for sure, that inspired me the most. And then Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, Usher, these were all like iconic dancers while I was growing up, in my time. And I'm just like, these guys are so cool. I want to do that on stage. So I would just watch their videos. And then I got to my YouTube days, my YouTube era. And I started seeing all these dancers in LA and these cool studios. There's a big red studio,
yes.
Millennium, where they always do these cool videos. I'm like, who are these choreographers? This is so cool. Oh my God. And then I started seeing this other studio, Playground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started seeing Nicole Kirkland and all these different dancers like Matt Stefanina. And even, it's crazy because a bunch of these people I'm talking about are now like my friends.
That's crazy.
So I done manifested all of that.
Period.
But yeah, all these icons who were just huge on YouTube, and I would watch their dance videos on repeat, and I would learn the choreography. They didn't have tutorials yet, and I would just, like, this is way before even, like, online tutorials. So I would just learn off of YouTube. I would watch a video, I'd put it in slow-mo, I would watch it, and that's what I did all day long. When I got home from school, I'm going upstairs on my little computer, I'm gonna learn this dance. Like,
yeah.
So that's definitely how I learned to dance. That's what inspired me to dance. And then what kept me dancing is just, all the inspiration, my own inspiration. Then Channing Tatum dropped Magic Mike, and I'm like, I could do that too. And then it turned into Magic Mike. The rest is history. But that's kind of how I started dancing. When I was 18, like as I was coming up dancing and stuff, I was dating a girl who went to a dance studio on Long Island. And I ended up like auditioning or just like showing the owner. I was like, I want to dance too. And like I showed her and she was like, oh yeah, like you need to be on our hip hop team. So they had put me and this other guy, Daryl, on their hip hop team because him and I were both freestylers because we were self-taught. So they would do a whole choreography. We'd be in a little bit of the choreography and then like it would break out into a dance off and like we'd be doing freestyle.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we learned. And then just going out with friends and dancing at the club. Dance is a very cultural energy exchange for me. So that's how it's always come up. And then now I'm getting into even more dance stuff, which I'm super excited about.
That's so cool. That is so cool. You literally have manifested all of the things. So like,
it's crazy.
It is crazy. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm manifesting that like my podcast is gonna be like the best podcast ever. No, I'm just kidding.
100%. It's giving Call Her Daddy.
No, don't hype me up that much.
We just need to get a studio and we're good.
Period. Honestly, like I'm like, should I just like move to LA? Because like,
yes.
So first of all, hey, don't tell me that because I will. No, there's times whenever I'm like, because I reach out to people like I did with you, and there's so many people that are like, yes, I'm down, but I don't want to do like a virtual, and I'm like, well, I'm not in LA. So anyways, I just feel like if I were to live in LA, I could get so many more people on. So anyways, maybe that's what I'll do one day. You never know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. You just need a little studio with some cameras and be good.
Yeah, period. And I need an income because LA is crazy.
Or manifested it.
Yes, we are. That's what we're doing. We're speaking it into existence. Okay. So how has being a member of the LGBTQIA community influenced like you as a dancer, or has it?
I like that a lot. I think it definitely has. It's also created a lot of diversity in the community itself. I'm not gonna say I'm the first to do it. Girls have danced with girls before. But I recently started approaching dance from like a masculine movement point of view. So I'll go to heels classes, which are very feminine and sensual and in heels, but I'll take the class in boots. And, you know, with, of course, the choreographer's okay, I'll be like, hey, like, is it cool if I do something that's more comfortable? And usually they're all super cool because as dancers, like, the point is to be unique. So if you could take their choreography and, like, make it your own but still hit their moves, like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
So I started doing that when I moved out to LA. That was when I, you know, to piggyback on with my dance stuff, like, before I moved out to LA, I visited a bunch of times, and I was like, I'm never moving to LA. And I took a few classes here and there. I took a class with Nicole Kirkland. I think that was my first time in LA. And in my first class ever in LA, she called me out for a solo, which is when they call you out to like be in the video and like get filmed. So she called me out, but it was a partner class. So she called me out at REG, which is a huge dancer now. She goes crazy. And she called us out together to do the dance, like, as a partner dance. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be doing partner dancing all the time. You know, like I said earlier, it really is an energy exchange to me. So not even that it's like, it's not romantic or sexual. It really is just body language. You know, it's a whole different, dancers speak a whole different language. So just dancing with someone else is so fun, like the connection, the energy exchange. And after that class, I was like, yep, I need to take more. So then I started taking more dance classes, some solo, some partners. Even to this day, still taking more, still want to take more.
That's so cool that you found your passion, because so many people in this world are still trying to find it. I mean, maybe I shouldn't speak for you, because I don't know if dancing is your passion. You probably have a lot of passions, but just from what it sounds like dancing.
No, definitely. And that's what's big too, like with dance, like when it, you know, your question was, what was it with the LGBT community? Like, how has being a part of the community influenced my dance, right?
Yep.
So, like, for me, I really think what's influenced me is being representation. Like,
Gotcha.
there are not a lot of masculine presenting people who explore dance, whether it's sensual or whether it's even just some hip hop. Like, I get a lot of love in that on social media. Like, I have a lot of masculine presenting people, non-binary people, like, reach out to me and they're just like, hey, like, I really want to do this. Like, how'd you get started? I am very grateful and just happy that I can be representation for other people, because I think that's what we need. You know, we need more representation. I feel like I'm healing, like, the masculinity in the community, because it's just like, we should be able to feel more free and sexy, like doing whatever we want, whether it is go-go dancing or even just taking class, like, feeling free and excited to like dance with other people. So I always hope that's motivated people too. And I think being a part of the community, like, what's really helped me as a dancer is more of my performances outside of like the dance studios. Like, I performed all over the country for Pride. Like, last year I was in like 9 different cities, and being able to dance as a go-go dancer or even performances like at a Pride event, like, Pride, first of all, is the best day of the best, like, any Pride celebration is just the best thing ever, because it's just love and happiness. So being able to dance and like hype people up, like, maybe, like I said, be representation to other people who are at the party, like, it's just been so
fulfilling.
You know, what?
Fulfilling,
and also just like inspiring. Like, I get inspired by dancing for other people because I see how happy they are, or like how much they can relate, or like, you know, and it just makes me super happy. So yeah, definitely fulfilled, definitely just grateful and blessed to be able to do it. But I think I don't think I've ever been affected in a bad way, other than my own self-doubt. Like, sometimes I definitely get in my head when I am playing more masculine roles, because I'll be like, oh, like, I'm not a guy, or I'm not as strong as a guy, or I don't look as good because I'm not like that guy, you know? And I think just getting out of my head and remembering, like, I'm a woman, and I'm just masculine presenting, and it's more about the energy for me than anything else. So, yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
It did, period. I love it. Okay, so are there any dancers or choreographers? Is that how you say it? Choreographers?
Yeah, choreographer.
Okay, that word has always been so hard for me to say. I don't know why. So have there been any dancers or choreographers who have inspired you as a dancer, or just like someone you look up to?
For sure. Probably like what we were talking about before. Definitely Channing Tatum, Moose from Step Up. Chris Brown with his dancing, of course. There is a female who's also masculine presenting, and she was really big around... I actually don't know their pronouns, but I really believe that she goes by she, her. When I was growing up and I first started dancing, her name is Shireen Jenkins. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know her or have even heard about her, but kudos to her. She's been doing her thing. Now she's more in like her motivational coaching, and she does a lot of art stuff now, but when I was growing up, she was a sick dancer. She still is a sick dancer. She's an artist now. She does a bunch of things. She's like me. We just are very passionate.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was so inspired by her growing up, because she didn't only dance. Like, I knew that she wanted to make music too, and she wanted to draw a picture or do art.
Draw a picture?
Like I knew that she wanted to like just be creative. And a lot of people, they think like, oh, you're an artist, so you sing and make music. But an artist is anybody who makes art.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely what I relate to as well. Like, I just want to make art in any form. And she was just an incredible dancer when I grew up. So Shireen Jenkins, definitely Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, definitely watched him a lot. Yeah, so there's a lot of dancers that I've been inspired by that, like I said, are now my friends, which is kind of crazy. But I think those are the main ones, the main people I definitely watched growing up. There's a few who have now been canceled, so we're not going to say their names, but it's fine. But yeah, so that's probably the people who definitely inspired me the most.
Cool. Okay, so I saw that you're doing a cool project with Nicole Kirkland. Okay. So first of all, so me and my sister, we literally have watched her since like, I don't know, it's been...
Kirkland crew too?
Oh, we know all of it.
Since even before that.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're real ones.
Yes. And so I just think it's badass that you're working with her. It's just amazing. But, so what project...
Me too.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a big accomplishment. But what project is it?
It actually drops on Monday.
Oh.
So I didn't sign like an NDA or anything. What are you dropping this podcast?
It'll be Monday.
Oh my God, perfect. Okay, so new video just dropped today with Nicole Kirkland. We did a dance visual to the song Lunch by Billie Eilish. Right, because the girlies needed to do it before Pride Month ended.
Of course.
So, yeah, Nicole hit me up, and she's like, Lexie, I need you to just be your hot, scrumptious self. And I was like, on my way. So it was me and a bunch of other girls. Unfortunately, I didn't have too big of a dance role, but I did some partner work, which is what I was just saying I really love doing. So it was like a little lap dance scene.
Period.
So that's all I could probably tell you, but super hot, super fun, a bunch of bad bitches, and like the best part is that like it was almost giving like contemporary jazz. So Nicole is talented as fuck. So
talented.
The video is incredible. Working with everyone was a vibe. Like, it was the most hectic day, but everyone was just such good energy. Everyone was positive. Everyone was like, it's okay, we're gonna get through it. We're going to handle it. We're going to do it. And me and Nicole ended up like just making it happen. And I ended up even just helping out a bit on set too, which I was really happy I could just like help and be a part of. So I'm just excited. It's my first time being a part of one of her dance visuals. And hopefully it's the first of many. So stay tuned.
That's awesome. That's so exciting.
And it's out now, so go watch it on YouTube.
Go watch it. Is it Nicole's YouTube?
Yeah, it'll be on Nicole Kirkland.
Okay, period. So can you think of like any particular like, I don't know, time where a choreography was extremely like challenging for you? It was like hard to learn?
every single one in Nicole's class.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, definitely Nicole. She teaches usually advanced classes. And in the classes, like, she'll straight up tell you to your face, like, this is an advanced class, which means you have to pick things up quickly. You know, she's not going to be redoing each section 10 times. And that's just because, you know, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, like I said, I'm not professionally trained, so I don't know exactly what the terms mean or what it is, you know, but to me, at least my understanding from taking classes is if you take a beginner class, maybe the choreo is not as long and the choreographer spends extra time with you to learn it and it's easier moves. Intermediate, maybe it's a longer choreography because you have more of that intermediate brain where you can remember longer pieces. And intermediate is like, they'll repeat for you a few times, but like, on to the next section, all right?
Yeah.
Get your shit together, point your toes. And advanced is like, they're going to walk in and do a long-ass choreo mad quick, and you got to know it and pick it up, and they're not going to remind you to do shit.
Oh, that's scary.
Period. So, yeah, Nicole usually teaches advanced, and she'll let people know, like, go take your foundational classes, your fundamentals, which I really got inspired in her last class, which was one of the hardest ones. The song is called I Like to Fuck. I think that's what is the name of the song. I took the class in my boots, no heels, and I was like, I'm gonna get this. And I actually did a pretty okay job. I didn't do my best job, but I remembered the choreo, so I was happy. But that was probably the hardest class of hers I took because it was really fast.
Yeah.
And other than that, like, you know, I've taken a bunch of classes, and there's a lot of classes I still want to take, and I think I haven't gone because I know they're going to be hard. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get myself there.
Nicole Kirkland's choreography is just difficult in general, like hers.
Yeah, it's tricky, but it's because she's detailed. Like, she has unique stuff. It's stuff you've never tried before. Yeah. So definitely Nicole. And then I'm trying to think. I've taken like Samantha Caudle's class. I don't know if that's how you say her last name exactly, but I've taken her classes, but hers are usually all levels, which mean like all ages can come, and it's for people who are beginner, intermediate, or advanced. It's like an all levels class, like basically like one size fits all.
Yeah.
But those are fun. They're not as difficult, but they're still a push, especially because I don't take classes as often. My stamina, I'm like, I got asthma, making it through. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's just jump into like the equal rights apparel and gay. Oh, that's it?
One of them. Yeah.
I love it. What is that?
A shirt.
What is the design?
So it's a face. Yeah, this is like one of our first logos. So this is put on here. We have just a lot of cool like artwork that even like our friends draw and we like put on the clothing. So.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, so let's touch up on the clothing company. So when did you start the Equal Rights Apparel? And what was the reason behind starting it? Did other people help you out? I know I just threw 3 questions at you, but...
That's cool. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Now, Equal Rights Apparel has a really cool story. They were actually established, I think, in like 2018, 2019. My homies Maddie and Nate are the founders and creators of Era Equal Rights Apparel. It's kind of always been called Equal Rights Apparel until I joined, and we kind of flipped it to Era. So they've been running the company for a few years, and in 2020, right after quarantine, 2020, I think it was like at the end of quarantine, I was doing events in New York, and I had a big Halloween party, and I was like, I need vendors. One of their homies, Lotus, reaches out to me, and Lotus is like, hey, I work with this really dope brand. They're all good energy. I think you would like really vibe with them. They connect us, and now I'm like, okay, we're connected. Come through, be the vendor. They were like vendors at the Halloween party. So they come through, and they set up the coolest, like, just little booth for their vending. Like, they brought all their own stuff. Mind you, they drove like 10 hours from North Carolina to New York with all their stuff in the trunk just to like, they really believed in it. They really and I respect that because I believe in my passion like that. Like, I'll hop in a car, I'll pack, I'll do whatever, I'll bring whoever, like, to get it done. So I really respected them and was inspired by them, because I'm like, y'all drove all the way here. And then I met them all, and it was all just like instant soul connection. We connected, vibe. And then for 2 years after that, I was just helping them out as like kind of like a brand ambassador. They would send me a box and I would wear it, I would promote it. And then it wasn't until this past year, in like 2023 coming into 2024, and I'm talking to them and I'm like, y'all, like, we could do more, you know, like, because now I'm at this point, now we're best friends. So now I'm watching them and I'm seeing like there's a lot of things that they need that I have, and there's a lot of things that they have that I need, you know. It was just like, it's a win-win. So we sat down, we talked about it, and since I've already been with them for 4 years, like kind of like a part of the company, it made sense to them. And they've had investors and other people reach out like, oh, like, we'll help you start up the company, and they always were just like, no, like, that third person, if there was gonna be one, it needed to make sense. And mind you, Maddie and Nate, along with our whole other friend group in Wilmington, North Carolina, we are a pirate crew. We believe we were pirates in our past life. We all have different pirate names when we see each other. We got a matching pirate tattoo. So it was like soul tribe, you know, it's like a soul connection. And so basically I was like, make me a PowerPoint. And we were all going to Miami for one of my self-love workshops. And they came. And I was like, make me a PowerPoint about Equal Rights Apparel. Let me know what you need. Let me know what the vibes are. Like, let me know your vision, what your goals are. So they put together a whole cute little PowerPoint. We get to Miami and we put it up on the TV. They gave me a whole PowerPoint presentation. They're like, this is what we need. They even put like the good Sam on it. It was like, we need you. So it was super cute. Like, our friendship is just so special. And I told them, I was like, you know, because it is tricky when mixing friends and business, you know, business, pleasure, whatever it is. So I was like, let's get really serious about this. Like, whenever we talk about Era, like, we got our business hats on. We're not homies no more, even though we totally are. So yeah, we sat down, we had a business meeting. We talked about things that I have that could help them and vice versa. And we sat down, we made a game plan. We're like, this could work. We then talked about just like branding and marketing. And we were like, what if we, since now you're teaming up with me, what if we call it the new era? Because Equal Rights Apparel stands for era.
Oh, and that's cool.
The new era, like, I'm in my new era, I'm in my healing era, like, all of that's been trending. So I was like, this could kind of make sense. And we've just been, you know, like, putting our brains together. Like, all three of our brains have been like, okay, what makes sense? What looks good? Da-da-da. And, like, really just coming together to be a total powerhouse to bring Equal Rights Apparel to life. And what Equal Rights Apparel is it's promoting and making other people feel free to express themselves while wearing whatever, and, you know, while wearing cool clothes and feeling fly. Like, you know, it's true. Like, when you look good, you feel good, and vice versa. So it's super special. And after just all the nitty gritty stuff, you know, to Equal Rights Apparel, like, what even is it? Is Equal Rights Apparel is a fully sustainable clothing company. We do not believe in fast fashion. We hate fast fashion because it's crumbling our earth right now. And all that it's doing, you know, not to sound like an environmentalist, we could get into that later, but a lot of people just brush it off. And they brush it off because we're privileged and we're lucky. We're in America. We have everything we need. But there are people who don't have clean drinking water. And that blows my mind, because we'll use 4 water bottles and not finish one. Then we'll throw them out in the regular trash. Like,
it's crazy.
It blows my mind what we do to this planet. And that's another reason why all three of us feel super passionate about Equal Rights Apparel. We have plans to do like beach cleanups, and like, we hate that there's plastic in the ocean. We hate that there's forest fires. You know, we hate that there's all these things out of our control. So creating a clothing line that was about upcycling, thrifting, and using sustainable products obviously makes us feel a little bit better. And then it's also a way we can do our part to hopefully make the world a better place by spreading love and spreading, you know, more knowledge to the world about our environment and where our earth is, you know, so like the condition of our earth and where it's at right now. So piggybacking off of that, EqualRightsApparel.com, if you go to shop, everything is thrifted. We do have merchandise, and that is our clothing that's like, we'll buy in bulk, and it's fully sustainable, so it's made from recycled cottons and fabrics. And then our one of one page is all thrifted, cool ass stuff. So like, we'll go to the thrift store, we'll get stuff donated, we'll pick it out, we might tie-dye it, and upcycling is like when you take one thing and make it into something cooler. So yeah, though, like, this was a shirt that was just a black shirt with a gray stripe, and we added this cool graphic to it. We added like some words on the
that's
back.
dope.
You feel me? So it's like, this was just a plain black shirt, but like, we had a vision. We made it more creative, more unique, more fly. So yeah, we'll take clothes and we'll upcycle them. So the coolest thing about our website, what I like to say is, like, if you like thrifting, it's an online thrift store. So you're still thrifting, but you're also now supporting a cause, and you could buy it from your comfort of your home.
Totally.
So that's a little bit about Era.
Era.
Yeah, Era. Era.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
So we got a lot of plans of doing, like I said, like beach cleanups. We want to do creative meetups. We have a lot. We're all also just creatives. We're all artists. We all dabble in music and dance and graphic design and all these things. So coming together is really what makes it possible.
Totally.
We couldn't do it without each other. We're like a 3-man, I don't even know what you call it.
You're pirates.
Yeah, you can't sail a ship without the crew. So we got somebody handling each part of what's going on, and I love doing it with them. We kind of just inspire and motivate each other. So it's super awesome, and it's also showing other people that you could do cool shit with your friends. So just get your friends and figure out what you're all capable of, and then make it happen.
Period. I saw that whenever you were at, was it West Hollywood Pride? You wore...
Oh, you saw the social experiment?
Yeah, so tell us about that. What was that?
Yeah, so you can check that out too. So being that that's out on YouTube already, there's a full video. So at WeHo Pride, Maddie and Nate had custom made me a all white Dickies fit. So we upcycled and we went on not Pinterest, or like maybe like Depop and stuff, like Pinterest, Depop, Etsy. So we also kind of thrift off online shops too. So we're not only just at thrift stores, but we actually found like the vest, I think, on Depop, and it was just like an all white Dickies like vest that was really cool. We got some Dickie pants, and then they had like hemmed the vest, they cropped it, then they put our graphics on it, and they put a big question that says, "What does pride mean to you?" And this was a vision I had in March. I sent them a voice memo. I was like, "Hey, how would you feel if we did this? Like, I think it'd be really cool if I walk around and I have Sharpies sticking out of my pockets, and maybe we could get a brand deal with Dickies or Sharpies." I was like, maybe that's a vision.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's kind of what our intention was, other than, just spreading love for pride. It was also like, let's see if we could get noticed by Dickies and Sharpies by like creating art with their products.
Totally.
So we had done that. We upcycled it. We made it. We put our Era touch on it. And yeah, so I walked around the parade. I walked around the streets for about 4 or 5 hours. And I was wearing clothing that said, "What does pride mean to you?" Couldn't write it on my fit. I had Sharpies in every pocket. And as I was walking, people were just like, "Oh, let me write it. And the coolest thing was like just meeting everybody, seeing how happy everybody was. And I think the most inspiring part was the age range. Because I had like someone who was younger, maybe like 10, 12, with their family, and they signed it. And then I walked around and there was somebody who's like 70 or 80, and they're like, "Oh, I love pride," telling me all their like stories. They're like, "I came out and, I'm way gayer than you." Like, it was just the coolest. It was the most fun, but it was super inspiring, and would definitely do again. So it was our first social experiment, and it was super fun.
That is so cool. Did you read what they wrote?
Yeah, I read a little bit of what's on there. I mean, I have them with me, but a lot of people wrote like, pride is liberation for all. Pride is seeing and accepting your entire queer family, which was really special because I feel like a community, we almost like, because of all the labels, we're just like, oh, the gays are over there, the bis are over there, the lesbians are over there, the non-binaries are like, we are all family, so it's like really seeing and accepting everyone in the community is really special. Other people just wrote happiness, freedom, Some people wrote being a bad bitch, like whatever pride meant to them. Like someone wrote sensual, someone wrote people just, someone wrote fuck the straights on the back of my shirt. Like, they're just talking crazy, but they're just happy. It was pride.
Oh, that's awesome.
Someone wrote like, let's go lesbian. So, it was super cool. There was a lot of super cool stuff on the shirt, but the fact that everyone got to be a part of it, everyone felt like, as soon as they saw someone signing me, they were like, can I sign it? I'm like, yes. Like, everybody come through, and it was just a fun time. It brought people together, so that's all that matters to me.
That is good. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, that is such a cool, like, thing to do. Like, I wouldn't have ever thought about that. Like, that was really cool. I thought that was cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah. All right, so do you want to touch on any more of the era?
I think my only thing to say is go follow Equal Rights Apparel on Instagram. Check us out. Our website's equalrightsapparel.com. We're trying to drop once a month, drop packs of one-of-ones. So definitely check those out. We do have a deal going on right now. If you sign up on the website, just enter your email to join the crew. Basically, we're inviting everybody to join the pirate crew. So join the era crew. And when you sign up for that email, you'll get a discount code that you can use. I think it's like 10 or 11% off for Pride Month. So for the rest of June, y'all can get a little discount, get some era drip.
There you go.
And help support, make the planet a better place. And support a queer-owned company, queer and Black owned. So.
Oh, period. We love that. We love that.
So super cool.
My listeners will definitely check it out. If y'all are listening, y'all better check it out.
Check out Equal Rights Apparel.
Yes, period. All right, so let's jump into Gateway. Okay, so you have this annual event that you do called Gateway, and you collaborate with a travel company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys just went to Costa Rica like last month, right?
Yeah.
I checked out the pictures. They looked awesome. I wish I would have known before, because I totally would have gone. I just didn't know anything about it.
Well, we're going to Thailand.
I know. We'll get into that.
You might have to now.
I know. Now that I know about it, I'm like...
No, I really like your energy. Like, you would fuck with everybody on Gateway.
Okay.
It's all vibes. And then they'll all tune in. And, like, it was cool because, like, on Gateway, like, there was a few creators and different people who went. Like, some people were photographers or artists. So, like, we would play our music and other people would get put on. And, like,
that's awesome.
Show them the podcast, they'll eat that up.
It's all about connections.
Exactly. Like, just connecting everybody. And everybody wants to support. So
that's awesome.
They're cool.
And I'll be in Thailand. So it's like a 2-in-1. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I got stumped up. Now I'm like, should I go to Thailand? Okay.
Well, I guess I could tell you about Gateway. I kind of figured that's what you were asking.
Yes. So yeah, that's what I was just about to get into. So I just wanted to know, like, was the Costa Rica, did it turn out good? Like, was the turnout really good? Like, how was the experience?
Yeah, so, I mean, just to give you a little background, Trova Trip reached out to me. Trova Trip is a travel agency. They work with a lot of different influencers, different artists, different people, basically inspiring you to invite your supporters, your followers, your fans, whatever you have, whatever it is, inspiring you to inspire them to travel. So I saw that and I was like, that's all I want to do. Like, not only do I want to travel the world, but like, I believe that everybody should travel the world. Like, I really believe like we learn way more while experiencing than we do from a textbook.
Totally.
You're going to learn about Costa Rica because you read about it in a book. You're not going to learn about Thailand or Africa or Mexico or Italy, all these places, like all these amazing places. You're not going to learn about them unless you are firsthand experiencing it yourself, meeting the people, eating the food and the culture, like hearing the music, So I think experiences are super important. And with that, I also think that being gay should be legal, being queer should be legal and not looked at differently all over the world. So it's like a 2-for-1 special. I created Gateway not only to inspire you to travel and travel with people where you feel safe. You're in places that are safe. We make sure all these things are taken care of. But also to hopefully inspire other countries, you know, that we're just people. Like, we're just people. I don't know what you do behind closed doors. Like, people who are straight, they don't talk about what they do behind closed doors. So why are you acting like we need to talk about what we do behind closed doors? That's another whole topic. But yeah, I believe that, you know, like, gay marriage, same-sex marriage should be legalized everywhere. I believe travel should be safe for everyone everywhere. Unfortunately, that's not the case right now with where our world is. But we're going to pray for world peace and manifest that everyone hops on the bandwagon. So, yeah, I created, it's a getaway, but you're with a bunch of queers. And, yeah, so I had started promoting last year. Earlier in the year I started promoting last year in April for a trip that was next April. In 2023, started promoting for the 2024 trip, and I promoted for the first trip was to Costa Rica. It's somewhere that's close to America. You know, it wasn't too crazy of a flight, but shout out to all my people who traveled from outside of America. I had some people travel in from Finland and Paris.
Oh my God.
So that was really stinking cool. I have another French, I think they live in Miami, but they're from Brazil. So now like my friend, because we're all friends now. But the coolest thing about Gateway is you say yes to an adventure where you know the itinerary, you know where you're going, but you don't know anyone you're going with, other than maybe me or, you know of me or something. So the coolest thing is that you're saying yes to an adventure. You're right off the bat taking a risk. You're being spontaneous. So everyone did that. Everyone who came was like, yes, like, I'm with it. And they booked the trip. They booked the flight. They get there. We all get there. The first night, I have a welcome dinner. And I'm like, hey, everyone. And it was super fun because this trip ended up being a really good turnout. I think there was a total of maybe 12 or 14. 12 of us with 2 drivers, so there was 14. But I'm like thinking about our countdown. We're like, countdown. We had to do our like check every time we got together. But we had a welcome dinner, and at the welcome dinner, I gave my speech. I let them know a little bit about more Gateway, let them know about our itinerary. Then I went around the table, I had everyone introduce themselves. You know, we're queer, so I had to ask everyone their zodiac signs. And I also asked everyone their pronouns, just so everyone could be on the same page. And yeah, so it was a really good turnout. We had the welcome dinner, and then after that, every single day was adventure jam-packed. Costa Rica was so fun. It was nonstop. There were days where we were like, can we just do nothing? And we were like, we have to kayak through the ocean and go snorkeling. So I learned a lot on the trip as well, because I'm remembering that people go on vacation and take holidays to relax from work. So Thailand is going to be less jam-packed, but I think we found a good balance where we could go and do activities and do things, and then also have some chill free days where we can just hang out with all these strangers who are now our best friends, because that's really what happens is at the welcome dinner, you're kind of awkward and like, who are these people? Oh, yeah. And then by the next 2 days, you're like sitting next to them on the bus, like, oh my God, da 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 da. Like, and there was drama, there was tea on the trip, it was like a reality TV show. Oh, maybe. There were people crying, there was people laughing, it was... Maybe that should be your next step. Make it a reality TV show whenever y'all. I am way ahead of you. Stay tuned. I don't know if you saw the visual on Instagram of the Gateway trip, but it literally looks like a trailer to a reality TV. It did. I'm watching it and I'm like, we just need everyone's names on it. We need confessionals. We need... Oh yeah, we've been brainstorming because that would be super fun. That would be awesome. But yeah, so that's Gateway, and that was Costa Rica. We had a great time. We went to a few different places. We hiked a volcano. We went to the beaches. We went to the jungle. That's awesome. Super special. Everyone we met there was super sweet. They took us in. Even like the grown ass men who were like driving our bus or hosting the tour, they greeted everyone with the correct pronouns. They were very like considerate and thoughtful. One of our tour guides even cried when we left. Like, Kevin, if you're watching this, I love you. If you're watching this. Love with us. Hopefully, Kevin is watching, because that would be iconic. Right. Come on now, Kevin.
Come on now, Kevin.
Yeah, he came to the club with us and everything. So
That's so cool.
Yeah, he was popping bottles.
That is so funny.
But it was super fun. And now after that, we were sitting on the bus, and I was like, how cool would it be if like whoever's on the gateway helps me plan the next one?
Oh.
So while we were all hanging out, I was like, where do you want to go next? And I told them the three, like, from all the submissions, I kind of had people vote where they want to visit. And it was Costa Rica, Italy, and Thailand. So I was looking at everybody, and I was like, do we want to go to Italy or Thailand next? And kind of gave them the option, which was fun because then everyone could be a part of it. And it also makes them want to come more.
Totally.
And we were even saying, we're like, we need everybody to come back because we had the blast.
Aww.
So they all were like, Thailand. I was like, I really want to go to Italy, but I feel like that's something that's more romantic. I was like, maybe I'll do that with like my wife one time. Hopefully. So it was super cool, and everyone agreed on Thailand. So as soon as I got home from Costa Rica, I started planning. I called Trip. I was like, let's get the next one ready. Like, everyone's super excited. And as soon as we dropped all the content from Costa Rica, the trip to Thailand is already live. We're going to an elephant sanctuary. We're going to go to some awesome views. We're going to have a boat day. We're going to go island hopping.
Oh my God.
So it's going to be amazing. Here's my pitch. And I think I already sold a few tickets, so there should be five or six more spots to get $200 off.
Okay.
So the first 8 people to book it get early bird price, so they get it for $200 cheaper. And then I still have 10 more spots after that. So whoever wants to come to Thailand with Gateway, book now. Or don't make me say, I told you so.
I know if I don't go and I see you guys posting, I'm going to be like, oh, I could be there.
I know. A lot of people said that about Costa Rica. They're like, maybe the next one. And then when we posted Costa Rica, they're like, no, I'm so sad. So it was super cool, but I'm super blessed and grateful to even like have been giving that opportunity and then giving everyone else the opportunity. We had a great time. I love and literally deeply care about everybody that was on that trip. Like, we got so close. We had heart-to-hearts. We had a self-love workshop while we were there. Like,
yeah, can we jump into that? So, like, what do sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. I just get so excited.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So what kind of, like, what does that consist of? Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah,
so I definitely always recommend everybody brings a journal. Because for me, I've done a lot of self-work. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I just love to share everything I've done and everything I've learned with others and see how it helps them. So I've worked with a spiritual mentor and a life coach for a long time. Him and I used to put events together. We still do. We just took a little break. So we put self-love workshops together. And in that workshop, there would be a meditation. There might be sound healing. There might be journal prompts and workshops and things like that. So I've kind of like made it smaller.
Got you.
I'm one person. I kind of just took what I would normally do at the workshops and I put that into my own individual workshop.
Yeah.
So I'm calling it a self-love workshop because we'll sit down, we'll take a few community breaths, we'll breathe together, we'll just get grounded. We'll usually turn on some music, we'll go around, we'll introduce ourselves again. I usually like to ask everyone what their intention is. Like, everyone's going through something different in life. So, like, maybe you're trying to get better at letting go of things, and maybe someone else is trying to get better at speaking up for themselves. Like, everyone's going through a different part of their journey. So I really love to emphasize that and highlight that in the room and just remind everyone that we're all going through different things. Basically, I'll let everyone, take the floor, have a moment to highlight and emphasize what their intention is, and they'll really sit with that intentionally. Why they're here, what they want to learn, what they want to leave with. And then I do my own little psychological exercise, which is super fun. So I'll ask them a few questions about themselves. It's very easy questions, but their answers will have really big meaning. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to give all the tea on that because it's super fun and you won't know until you try. So I do some little activities where it will kind of just get their brain working, their brain thinking about how they view things and how they view themselves. And then I'll also lead with just some journal prompts. And I'll give them some journal prompts to work on. And through that exercise, you like learn a lot about everybody. So everybody has a chance to share. Sometimes we'll go into meditation and I'll, then ask people to share what they got out of that meditation. After all of this, I dive really deep into inner child work, because reconnecting with my inner child is what got me to where I am today. From being somebody who went through bullying and, grew up being teased or whatever it was, like, my inner child's got a lot of little bruises. She's got a lot of self-doubt, little Lexie. So just showing up as, big Lex, I really have to, like, protect my inner child and any self-doubt or fears I have. So I try to bring that out of everybody. Like, what are things you used to do when you were a kid, And that one question is so healing, because for me, like, it was probably, like, explore, go outside and pretend I was playing Survivor. And that's why my favorite thing to do now is travel. Yeah. Even if it's going to the beach, like, it feels good for my soul, because that's what innocently I would do when I was bored as a kid. I would go dance, or I would go play outside. Other people, maybe they drew a picture, maybe, maybe when they were little, they liked to play soccer. And you don't realize that as a kid, we get so connected to things that make us feel good. Now as an adult, you don't realize that you're still going to get that same high that you did when you were a kid. So a lot of people feel lost or bored when they're adults, and I really just want to inspire more play in everyone's life. So I try to inspire everyone to connect with their inner child. We do a lot of work like that in the self-love workshop. I'm also leading, separate from Gateway and self-love workshops, but I'm going to be leading more like inner child workshops in like different things throughout the year this year. So I'm super excited for that. But that's kind of a little rundown of what we do. And then sometimes it will get vulnerable. People will talk about things they're going through. We'll cry, we'll hug, we'll have a healing.
Aww.
So it's super cool. And then just, being in a room with people that you don't know, you might share something and someone else is like, me too, I just went through this last month. Then they connect on a deeper level. They can then,
Totally.
So it's cool. That's kind of a little rundown of what I do.
That's so cool. I feel like that definitely, because them going on a trip with random people, like that's just scary.
It connects us.
Yeah, it's like scary to begin with, but then it also helps them feel more comfortable and help them feel more connected. So I get that. I get that. That's good. That's good that you do that. Okay, so we are coming to the end. So I just have a couple questions. So you have some upcoming things that are happening in the near future, period. You mentioned a couple days ago when we talked that you're starring in a show called Queerious, and you're also one of the producers. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
For sure. Queerious TV. So Queerious is a queer series about a lesbian and gay friend group here in LA, actually. And there's already a season 1 out on Amazon Prime and YouTube. There's season 1 is already dropped. Of course, this was before we got all our funding. This is before quarantines. This is a while ago. But it's super funny. Definitely watch it before you watch season 2, just so you can get to know some of the characters. Okay. However, season 2 is going all out. We have different producers on the project. We have Glad, who donated to help, the project come to life. We have a bunch of friends and actresses and artists who all donated their time, their music, their talent to really bring this to life, because it really feels like a group of friends because like I'm friends with a lot of the cast members, so it just feels like we're bringing our dreams to life. But it is important to know that this is not a reality TV show. Okay. This is scripted. It's as if you're watching the L Word, but like
I love the L Word.
But love the L Word too, and I don't mean to be biased just because this is our show. But Queerious is 10 times better than the L Word because of diversity, because of new modern slang, all the new things. But it's the same as far as drama, tea, everybody's fucking everybody. All of the fucking things in the queer community are happening in Queerious. There are relationships, there are toxic relationships, there are things you might not have expected. super fun. So I'm a character in the show. My name is Lauren. So I'm super excited for y'all to get to know Lauren. And we should be dropping our first episode in June, hopefully before the end of this month. So I'm super excited for that. My homie Alexander King, she goes by Lex. She is the writer, producer, director, creator of Queerious. This is her baby.
Aww.
So her being our homie, we all, like I said, came in, volunteered our time to bring this vision to life. I am on the project as one of the associate producers, so I've been helping out behind the scenes and a lot of things just to make it happen, whether it's venues, food, everything that we need to take care of the crew. So yeah, we've been coming together. We've been getting it done. We're almost done. We've been filming for over a year. So we're almost wrapped. We almost got everything finalized. And like I said, we're getting ready to drop it. You're going to be able to see and stream Queerious on Amazon Prime and on YouTube, I believe.
Okay.
So stay tuned. I'm super excited for it. And some of your favorite influencers might be in it. So definitely check it out.
Let's touch on, you said you're going to do your own. Okay, so maybe I'm wording this wrong because I don't know.
Nah, you got it.
Okay, so you said that you're doing your own dance visuals. Is that how you say it?
Yes. So dance visuals, dance concepts.
Okay.
Similar to things you might have seen from Nicole Kirkland or plenty of other choreographers, Jojo Gomez, Janelle Dinestra, like all these choreographers who are creatives, and they produce, direct, choreograph, basically a music video with dancing.
Okay.
So I've done a few in the past on my YouTube. You can go down and see some old ones, but when I was living in New York, I did a few where I directed some funny concepts. Maybe there was acting in it. Maybe it was just dancing. And this is going to be my first one in like 9 years.
Oh my gosh.
Because I haven't done one in so long. Maybe 6 years. Let me chill. But it feels like forever since I've done one. And we were recently on set for my Pride visual that's going to be dropping. Hopefully it's out before this podcast is out. I really think, it's dropping in a few days, which I'm super excited for. So if you're listening, go check out Toxic Pony Dance Visual.
Toxic Pony!
Toxic Pony Dance Visual.
Under your YouTube?
Yeah, it's going to go under my YouTube for sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to post it there, and then I'll also be posting some clips on Instagram as well. So that's going to be the first of many. My goal is to get more into my creative bag and just start, bringing my visions to life. So I'm super excited for that. I love wearing my director hat. Not to say I love telling people what to do, but I love making shit happen.
I mean, you are an Aries, so.
My leadership in me. But no, I love directing. Being a creative director is probably like the favorite role I ever step into, being a director, and like just being on set and being like, oh, you're in hair and makeup, let's get ready for camera. Like,
Totally.
That's my favorite. That's probably my dream, is to just stay there all the time.
You like feeling like a boss bitch.
Maybe that's it.
You're like, wait, it all makes.
What do you want to be when you grow up? A boss? Like,
a boss.
Yeah, I just want to be a boss bitch.
Yeah. I feel like everyone does, though, to some extent.
Right. Yeah, like, why would you not? But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's happening. Hopefully it's already out. Go stream it. Go stream Lexie's. Go stream Nicole's. Go stream Queerious. Go stream. Check out Igor's Apparel. Go book Gateway. All the things.
I'm going to need you to text me all of the links to this so I can put it in the little show notes.
Oh my God, perfect. Yes, I will.
Period. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? Okay, so lastly, this is the last thing. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is a piece of advice you have always remembered and want to share with the listeners? Whether that has to do with like anything, like getting over a hard time, or maybe just like in life, just anything that comes to mind.
It's another tattoo.
Okay.
I know I gave y'all a few gems already. Mind over matter. They're going to judge you no matter what, so do what you want. But I think my most favorite and most helpful quote, words of advice, is something that I came up with. Maybe I always am like, I wish I got this like published under my name, and maybe I still can. But I got this tattooed a long time ago. It's written right here. and it says, you create your own identity. And what I mean by that, and what I want people to know by that, is your identity is who you are, right? Whether to you that means your sexuality, maybe it's your gender, maybe it's, you know, what you do for a living. Like, a lot of people identify with different things. Like, maybe you identify by being masculine presenting. Maybe you identify by being a dancer. Identify with your name. That's one. You know, because you are so much more than all these things. I have a video on YouTube that's like, my name's Lexie, not lesbian. And, like, my biggest thing about that is just that, like, I don't want lesbian or whatever my sexuality is to be what identifies me. So you create your own identity. You create your own identity.
Identity.
You create your own identity, meaning who you are is completely and utterly up to you. What you want to do is up to you. Where you want to be, where you want to go, what you want to wear, how you want to speak, how you want to show up in rooms, how you want to talk to people. Everything about who you are is completely up to you. You create that. So with this advice, take time to get to know yourself. Take time to ask yourself these questions of, like, who do I want to be today? What do I want to do in a year? And a lot of people hold back and they wait because they look at everybody else, or they ask for advice of, what do you think I should do? Or, like, can you see me doing this? And it's just like, bro, like, take a deep breath, ask yourself. And if you're really quiet, your intuitive will answer for you. Spirit, God, like, it will come through you and it will answer that question for you. You already know everything you're meant and supposed to do because it's in your soul. Like, you know it.
Yeah.
So I really just, if I could inspire y'all to do anything, it is to take time to get to know yourself and then get really strict on creating yourself, because that's your decision. That's up to you. And it's something you could have fun with. Creating is fun. You create your own identity.
That's it. That's such a good, and it seems like it's so, like, such a simple quote, but it's like, it really, like, I don't even know how to put it into words. You put it into words, like, perfectly.
Like, who you are is up to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. Like, first of all, if you're in America alone, we are luckily in a country and in a place where you can really do anything you want. We do have that, you know, availability and just reach of it, but
well, that's good. Yeah. I like that
be
quote.
yourself and do anything you want to do.
Period. Because that's what you've done, and look at you now. Period. Trying. I'm trying. So I just wanted to say thank you for coming on. I know that you're very busy, and so I just want to thank you for saying yes to me. I think you're super inspiring, and I feel like my listeners are going to think the same. So I don't know, I just wanted to say thank you, and I will definitely look into the Thailand trip, because Thailand is like a dream. So that would be just, like, amazing, and everything that you said about it, like, it just seems perfect for me. So it would be awesome. But
thank you. I just want to say thank you for having me. Thank you for dealing with the technology. I know it's been a little glitchy on the call, but we made it happen, and I appreciate you for having me on and letting me speak, and, you know, just give all the gems, and also even, you know, let people know what's coming. There's a lot of new stuff I'm working on and I'm really excited about, so I appreciate you. And y'all can find me everywhere at Lexie Peters, LEXIEPETERSS. And all the other things, go check them out. They'll be linked below. So thank you for having me.
So thank you so much. And for my listeners, I try to post every Monday. So, you know, just stay tuned. All right, guys, peace out.
And let's be honest.
Yeah.